Peace be with you. You are welcome to today's session of our music lessons. I would like to treat what we call Anacrusis. Anacrusis. Anacrusis is spelled Anacrusis. Anacrusis. Sometimes, in an attempt to find the time signature of a given song, if it's not stated, you'll be tempted to use the first bar just to analyze the number of beats in it so you can identify the time signature. But it's not always that a given bar or the first bar of a given piece of music starts with the full number of beats required in the bar. And that one gives us what we call anacrusis. Anacrusis is any melody or rhythmic phrase starting on any other beat apart from the first beat. In other words, anacrusis is a term used to describe any melody or rhythmic phrase starting or on a weaker beat or weaker beats. What do I mean? It means that we will have a beat that is weak or beats, being more than one, that are weak. That one too brings us to mind the difference between a strong beat and a weak beat, or a stronger beat and a weaker beat or weaker beats. Let me quickly touch on the difference. I mean, some of you may know, but for the sake of those who are beginning, a strong beat is the first beat of a group of beats in a bar defined by a particular time signature. So if we have a time signature like 4/4, it means we should get 4 crotchet beats in every bar. Now the first beat of these groups in every bar becomes the strong beat. Now all other beats become weak. But it's not always that our weak beats or a weaker beat is one. They can be more than one. I think I've said that one already. Okay, so sometimes you may have a song starting on any other note apart from, or any other beat apart from the first beat. Now the difference between a stronger beat and a weaker beat is established. Okay, now do we have songs that really satisfy what we are talking about? Like a song starting on a weaker beat. If we take a song like Danasi, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if our Da will start on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Danasi, Danasi. It tells you that a song like Danasi starts on a stronger beat. How about Odo Nyanko Pon? 1, 2, 3, 4. Odo Nyanko Pon. That one too starts on a stronger beat. Okay, let's consider a song like Praise to the holiest in the earth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Praise to. That one too starts on a stronger beat. But let's look at this song. Aye ye re. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Aye ye re. You see that you always have to count one beat off before you start from the other. If you are using 4/4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Ah, yeah, yeah, re. In this case, all these three notes become anacrusic. So you have a beginning. If my melody is written on a staff, I will have something like this, where even though I have stated 4/4, but I have 3 crochet beats in a bar here. It means that if you want to identify your time signature for a particular piece, and you realize that you have to move on to the next bar. Now, in a situation where the time signature is not really satisfying the first bar, or the first bar is not satisfying the time signature, don't still use that to identify your time signature. Move to the next bar, and that one may contain the full number of beats required by the time signature. Alright, so if we should move on from this, since we can't use this to identify, otherwise we will say this is 3/4, but it's not. Okay, so we move on to the next bar, and of course we have all the 4 beats here. Of course, there's no way 3 beats can go into a semi-brief. There are 4 crochets rather in a semi-brief, really satisfying the time signature as 4/4. Alright, thank you. Now, it's as if you are using only 4/4 and 2/4. Let's consider 3/4. If we have phrase like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in every bar. Okay. That song starts on a strong beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But let's consider Brother Pius's centenary mass, the Sanctus. It uses 3/4 or 6/8. I will choose 3/4 for the sake of this analysis. Alright, so with the use of rests, we can also create that off beat, so to speak. Okay, so instead of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, we take one beat off. So we have pam, 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 pam. Again, holy, off, holy, off, holy. This is not anacrusic. Why? Because the beat is represented by the rest. So we can really get the beat there. We can really get the amount of beats there, because we know that, oh, there's a beat here and one is missing. Okay, so we can observe it and continue. Or we can use this bar to identify our time signature. Why? Because it is full already if we are using 3/4. The rest itself is having 1 beat and the 2 other crochet beats. It becomes anacrusic when we delete this, and then the song will start on these 2 beats. Now, these are 2 beats. There is no rest here, but the bar is already full, and we have moved into the next bar, but rather having 3 crochet beats, which are not the same as the first bar, which is having 2 crochet beats. Now, without the rest, this bar becomes anacrusic. I think I have to make it simple now. The only thing I want us to know is that anacrusic is when a bar is starting on any other beat apart from the strong beat, but the missing beats are not indicated in the bar. it is not anacrusic, or the bar becomes not an anacrusic bar if the missing beats are represented by rests. That is why I treated rests before this one. So this lesson at least will teach us some two ideas or lessons. So we will learn that before we identify a time signature, we will have to look at least the second bar. That is, if the time signature is not stated. Don't use only the first bar to analyze and also to find a time signature. You have to move into the next bar so you confirm that, okay, we have equal number of beats. Otherwise, if you have lesser number of beats as compared to the other bars, you should just bear in mind that the first bar is an anacrusic bar, and that will not contain all the required notes by the time signature. This also will let us know how to begin a particular song or rhythmic phrase. You don't just bump in and start performing a particular beat or rhythm or a melody. You have to see whether you are to start on a weak beat or a strong beat, all by analyzing whether there is an anacrusis or not. Thank you. I will end here. I think the lesson is gradually becoming challenging and technical. That is where I need questions, so I know where actually to address. All right, I will end here and we'll post your exercise for the day on the page. Thank you. Bye-bye.